WordPress has been the king of websites for so long, but the real question is AI taking over? I am blown away at the progress that AI has made from ChatGPT with all the conversations to now we have vibe coding as a thing, and people are taking advantage of this left and right. So in this video, I want to share with you a lot of the changes and things that are happening in this field and how it affects WordPress. Is WordPress better? Should you start switching to AI? Let's get into it. But before we get into AI, let me just give you a quick recap or history on my relationship with WordPress. I started out way back when in the early 2000s when different frameworks started coming out. You had the Genesis framework, which I was very heavily into, really involved in the community. My company was Surefire Web Services. And, in those years, I made a lot of noise. I met a lot of people. I networked with a ton of people, and it was very fun. So I've used WordPress. I've been building websites with WordPress, all the way from custom themes to custom plugins, even helping out some major names that you know today. There's a restaurant plugin out there that I built the back end for, and I just gave it to somebody. Like, I don't know what I was thinking, but I've done a lot of WordPress work. I know the code. I know how it works inside out. They switched to Gutenberg. Things got a little crazy. A lot of my clients preferred the old way because, let's face it, we don't really like change too much. But as things progress, now you have page builders, which I've been using Beaver Builder. I switched to Elementor. Then I had Thrive themes. I'm very familiar with the space. I'm very, very familiar with the tools that are being used. I can build a website pretty quickly where, 10, 15 years ago, it might have taken me a long time to figure out how to do it. Now, with page builders readily available, all the different functionality that you can get with plugins, I could do it pretty quick. So I know what it takes to build a website, to design it, to take a template, to rework the template, and to create something that's amazing. As a matter of fact, you could take my most recent website, which is my coffee company. It's Full Quiver Coffee. This is built fully in WordPress, using a bunch of different plugins and a bunch of different techniques to get the functionality that I wanted. Now, in context, this website took me, from the page development to the concepts to creating every single element on here, about 6 months. And the reason it took me 6 months is I don't build websites full time. So it was an hour a day or an hour here and there or whenever I could. I'm a busy guy. I got a family. They're in sports. I've got my wife. I've got, I'm doing a lot of stuff. So 6 months in and out of chipping away at it every day. And then I finally got it to a place where I was like, yes, this is the site that I want. Home, brew, learn, and grow. This is what we do at this company. But you can see here, I've implemented WooCommerce. I've implemented subscriptions. I've implemented Printful for shirt designs. I've implemented different sliders. I have a LMS in here for courses like the 5-fold identities. I have affiliate links on the catalog for different coffee products. I even have prayer request forms, the mission, the vision, and I have a community on the back end as well. Well, I took the community out, but creating the page with Elementor, and I also put in UI Core, which is an amazing, amazing theme that does a ton of stuff. But the bottom line is this took a long time to build, and you can see right here that I have this get coffee and the word in your inbox. And this was what I was working on building next, because after I built the whole website, I didn't really have a chance to build this part out, which is the entire email sequence. This includes the PDF download. It includes videos that I made to go along with coffee and the word. And you can see it says coming soon right here because I haven't had time to build it. Now, if I go into the back end for me to build this, there's a couple of steps involved. Now, rather than go over every step that's involved, I just want to share the benefits of WordPress because I don't want to completely exclude what WordPress has done for the web industry and how simple it has made creating websites. And I say simple in terms of not hand coding every single thing from scratch, because of course there are still complexities that come with building websites in WordPress. But the good thing about WordPress is you still maintain a level of control that you might not get with AI yet. And I stress yet, because the way this technology is going, it's crazy. So WordPress is still flexible. You can build anything if you know what you're doing. Plugins cover a slew of application needs that you need in your website. The only thing with plugins is they start to get pretty expensive. I mean, just to have WooCommerce subscriptions is about $250 a year. And it should be a basic functionality. Like, it's not that hard to implement, yet they charge $250 for that one plugin. And you take that and you start adding all the other plugins to get the functionality of your website. Not only might you be paying someone to build it, you also have to pay for all those licenses. So tack on an extra $500 to $2,000 depending on what you're getting and the licenses that you need. But you still get what you want. You still get the flexibility. You still get the open source concept of it. You can host it anywhere you want. You can apply speed plugins to make sure it's flying fast. And it's all good and well, but all of that flexibility definitely comes with two things. It comes with the high price of it, and it comes with the complexity of now having to manage every single plugin, every single update that's released, making sure it doesn't break your website, making sure you have the backups, making sure you have the storage space for the backups. And you can see, using WordPress starts to pile on a lot of things. That's why there are full maintenance companies. Like Surefire Web Services was a WordPress maintenance company, because people would put their website up and then completely forget about it. And then all of a sudden you're ending up with security holes, or the development. You're jumping from one version to another high version because clients weren't updating their things. And then the next time you try to update, all of a sudden everything breaks. And it gets harder and harder and harder to maintain. But that's part of the process of having the WordPress website. Now, all of a sudden, you are hit with these things called AI builders, vibe coding, things like Bolt, things like Lovable, things like Base 44. They're getting out of control, and it's awesome and scary at the same time. And not only can you completely create and develop websites, you don't have to know how to code to do it anymore. You put in a simple, make my website do this. I want my website to look like this. I need a coffee site for this. And then the AI builds out the entire code, makes it completely flexible and responsive, does everything that you need, puts the content in there, puts the images in there, puts the icons in there. So you're not manually building out every single page, line by line, block by block, as we call it now. It's doing everything for you. And not only that, AI is able to build in the functionality that you would have to purchase through plugins on WordPress websites. So if you want things like subscriptions, now you just tell AI, please add a subscription to my website. And then bam, it's done. Now all of a sudden you have subscriptions. You say, I want a landing page for this, this, and that. Rather than going into WordPress, create a new page, open up the page builder, pick the brick, hero section, this and that, you just simply write, make me a landing page for this, and boom. All of a sudden, it's done. And it's that instant, and that's why, this AI thing is really, really taking over in a sense. WordPress has to try to keep up, and now you're seeing these page builders like Elementor start implementing this AI, like, oh, build me a page. And I've tried it a couple times. I mean, it's okay, but it's expensive. It's expensive. Like, you're already paying for the page builder, and now you have to pay for the additional AI functionality, and they tack on another $100, $200, whatever it is, just to make the page for you. And, it doesn't really come out that great a lot of times, and you still got to go in and you still got to tweak it. It's insane. What took weeks and months in WordPress is now literally taking seconds in AI. So what exactly is changing? I'm going to read from my notes. So if I'm not making eye contact, I'm just going to read this. It's not replacing builders. AI isn't replacing page builders. It's actually replacing the building process. We're moving from a drag and drop type style and build to just being able to write and describe what you want and then having AI completely build it out for you. Pretty soon, not even soon, now, because I'm going to show you something I built in a few minutes. You can just say create a funnel for X, and then it's going to build it. It's going to integrate the payments. It's going to integrate the email process and the analytics. And you just literally have to type it in and then watch it all build out. It's insane. It's opening up the avenue to people who had no idea how to code before to now just, if you know how to write or if you know how to prompt, you're going to be able to build incredible, incredible websites in a fraction of the time. So I realize I just said that in a couple minutes I'm going to show you what it did, but I'm going to save that for the next video because I kind of want to wrap up this video with this message to all the developers out there, all the website builders, the designers. AI is the future. We have to transition from the mindset of I have to build everything from scratch to I can now just prompt a few things. And if you're watching this video, I thank you so much because this is the journey that we're kind of taking together. I'm shifting and transitioning from WordPress because I'm seeing what I can build out of the box with very minimal effort to what I used to have to spend weeks on building in WordPress. And it's really just mind-blowing what you can create. So is WordPress going away? No, I don't think so. I think WordPress developers still have a place, but the industry is 100% shifting already, and it's going to have to shift. You can see these WordPress plugin developers, they're starting to create full environments of WordPress plugins that work together. So you have things like Fluent, right? Fluent Cart, Fluent Community, Fluent this, Fluent that. They're building all of these plugins and they each have their own subscriptions, but they all work together within WordPress. You also have things like Sure, Sure Cart and Sure Triggers and Sure, all these other things. Another company that's building a suite of plugins that are all going to work together. I think Thrive Themes was the first one that started building a complete suite of plugins that work together, but they sell it as the Thrive suite. And I believe you're going to probably start seeing more and more of this, but there's also a shift where if you're an agency, that rather than spending, $200 on this plugin, $200 on that plugin, $200 on this one, before you know it, you're at like $1,000 a year on a couple of plugins where they have too much functionality when you only need this much. I think you're going to start seeing a shift to the AI part of it. And that AI part is going to be, I only need this, this, and this. Please build this out and let me put a website on top of it, or let me put a theme on top of it. In fact, my freelance company, Tech Simplified, we're kind of going in that direction where we're not just building WordPress websites. We're actually going to start shifting into this AI revolution because, with AI agents in place, with all of the functionality you can create at the just typing it out, it's really proving to be an incredibly fast way to not just prototype, but to actually build something out that a client can use. And I want to start sharing all of the things that we're building out with you guys because one, it's fun to learn. And two, we're in an incredible time in history. Like we are seeing the future play out and you don't want to be caught up at the end where now all of a sudden every web agency is an AI agency and you're stuck, still trying to find a good theme for your client's website. So we don't want to be there. We want to keep pushing forward and we want to keep moving the needle forward. And part of that is understanding the times, when to transition, when to shift into something, and to see what's happening out there. Now, I'm not telling you go ditch all of your WordPress websites. I still have the WordPress websites that I have. And actually, I'm inviting you guys to walk with me as I begin to recreate these websites and really push and see what AI can do and what the cost difference is. Because even with my website, the Full Quiver Coffee website, I spent a lot of money on those plugins, on the LMS plugin. I spent a lot of money on the funnel kit. And I spent a lot of money on all the things that worked there and just to develop it and get it the way I wanted. You know, those numbers begin to add up, especially for a startup. Now, I'll be honest, if I end up building that entire website with AI and it only costs me $50 or $100, I'm going to be excited, but I'm going to be really pissed too. But we'll see what happens. We'll take that journey. Please hit like and subscribe and the notification bell as I continue to pump out these videos. Again, welcome to this channel. I talk about God, Jesus. I talk about technology stuff, this AI thing, and I talk about coffee. So you want to follow me? You're going to hear all of that. It'll probably be mixed in all these different videos. I'm tired of doing a bunch of different channels. We're streamlining. I'm going one video. I'm a one-man show. Let's do this. So God bless. Thank you for joining me, and check out the next video when you can.